Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Gregor and welcome to our new episode of Surfing Daily at Waves, where I will look some of the most interesting developments and price action of this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will cover Euro-Dollar, Cable, Swiss franc, gold, S&P 500 and Dollar Yen. So Euro-Dollar I think remains in downtrend despite a very strong rise here that took us back into this triangle pivot level and also back to this swing resistance, which proved to be resistance, a very good one actually. We have seen a very nice sell-off in the last few days, so in my opinion maybe that was a flat correction, an expanded flat correction that is now suggesting more weakness. And the reason for more weakness is probably also because of this 5 waves drop that I can count here from latest high. So after this consolidation, obviously expect more weakness. The only question is if this maybe consolidation is now still in progress like a flat, and you will see a retest of 1.1250, maybe even 1.13 level before you see a drop, or maybe consolidation is already finished here. In either case, I think that more weakness can be coming in Euro-Dollar in the next few days towards those swing supports here. Now looking at cable is also in downtrend, and I'm expecting more downside. Why? Because as you can see, market here on a daily chart broke this trendline support, and normally when this occurs, when you have this trendline support broken, you can expect that market is in wave 3 rather than in wave C, because if that would be a wave C, well, that's normally the case when market actually reverses away from this trend line, okay, when it actually acting like a support. But now, since the breakout occurred, it just causes an acceleration to the downside. Perfect price action for a wave 3, so watch out maybe for a wave 4 rally in upcoming days, maybe weeks, and then a new sell-off. Now looking at the intraday chart, I still think that this wave 3 however is not finished yet. You are in wave 1, you have a wave 2, you have an extended wave 3 now. So the idea is here that sooner or later we will see this new corrective rise on a smaller time frame and then more weakness. Now the first resistance would obviously be this trend line, okay, which was actually broken here, so it gave us an evidence that we are in a third wave. And also the important resistance would be the former wave 4 here at 1.2415. There you have also small divergence, so maybe that's interesting development because it may indicate that wave 5 or 3 is coming to an end. Now let's take a look on dollar Swiss. Well, dollar Swiss is also having some very nice reversal pattern. Now looking firstly here on the 4-hour chart, again you can count 5 waves to the upside here, followed by a 3-wave correction that take us back to this starting point of the previous 4th wave rather than end point. So still it was a very nice and very good support from where we may see straight move to the upside. Even if we maybe see a surprise by the market and we see another retest of this zone, I would still expect a bounce, but maybe after a more complex correction. Still part of an uptrend in my opinion. So looking at this 4-hour, it's actually suggests that market has bottomed here, looking at the daily chart, where I can clearly count 7 swings correction down from 2019 highs. The next very important evidence for a reversal or for a low in place would obviously be this 9614 overlap. Why? Because if you would count this as a waves 1, 2, 3, you are in a wave 4, you would expect wave 5. Well, then you should not see this overlap, because wave 4 must never trade into territory of a wave 1. Okay, so in my opinion, this overlap would just be another confirmation that we are really turning to the bullish side here. Now looking at the big picture here on a weekly chart of dollar Swiss, well, we have turned up from very nice support levels here. So in my opinion, this triangle is still valid formation despite some spike here below to new low, but there was no daily close lower. So in my opinion, this is still the best leveling at the moment in this still very messy, ugly price action. But if really this triangle is coming to an end, then you know that a lot of more clearer wave structure will be in upcoming weeks, even months. Now let's take a look also on gold. Now gold is making some very important breakdown. Okay, we can see prices sliding below this trend line support. Okay, and this trend line, this broken trend line actually suggests that the 5-wave rise is finished. In fact, you have an impulsive price action here within this drop, meaning that the top is likely in place and that more weakness will be seen after a pullback. Looking at the intraday chart, maybe we are now seeing very nice corrective recovery for a wave 4. If that's the case, then 1540 would be very nice resistance at the 38.2%. There you have also this previous swing low here. So everything comes in around 1540 up to 1560, let's say. So that's the zone. If we see a retested from where I would obviously expect a new drop. At the same time, maybe watch out euro dollar. Now euro dollar has a very tight correlation now with gold. So you can see here in blue euro dollar, you can see in gray it's gold. So if maybe we really see a rally on gold here for a wave C, then of course maybe euro dollar will also stay in consolidation, maybe even retest yesterday highs and today's highs before we see initial sell-off. So generally speaking, I see both markets in downtrend, and any rise I think would be just temporary. Sooner or later new lows will occur. Now let's take a look also on the S&P 500. Well, the S&P 500 on the monthly chart, we see at a very important level is testing this trend line here. So it's very interesting to see how market will respond there. There's still of course possible dip to retest this wave A swing low from 2018 before we see maybe a new short-term, at least short-term recovery. I think that key will be to track here the intraday chart. This recovery, or at least corrective rally in 3 waves, should occur after a completed of these 5 waves down. There is still a much better support zone for a 5th wave around 2200 rather than at current price, to be honest, because these fib levels suggest that 5th wave obviously has room to run into this zone. At the same time, this zone comes here at this wave A area. Also, we may just continue consolidating here for another 24 hours. If that would be the case, then maybe 4th wave can also be a triangle. But once we see a new lows here and maybe a bounce away from the lows, away from this wave A, that would be maybe the beginning of at least 3 waves of recovery. So maybe choppy, unclear price action could be the case after this completed 5th wave down there. When stocks will finally maybe stabilize at least for a temporary time, that's when dollar yen may actually see more upside, if we consider the dollar yen is already showing some nice reversal to the upside. So in risk on mode, I think the Japanese yen would be pressured to even lower prices. Now looking here at the weekly scale, what I'm referring to is potential 3-wave rise for a wave D. So still we are in this, trapped in this very messy, ugly price action. Can be a triangle, okay? So if that's a triangle, a 3-wave recovery can be followed into wave D. So looking at the 4-hour chart, daily chart, maybe new much better opportunity will occur after this wave B setback. Okay, it's still not anywhere near to unfold this wave B, but once it will happen, I think that there will be opportunity to look for more upside. So at this stage, dollar yen maybe can be a little bit more choppy sideways until we see a reversal or at least temporary bottom on the S&P 500. Traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon.